Hi, so just a quick little knife review today. This is my first zero tolerance knife. It is the ZT0770. I actually bought this second hand off a forum in the UK. It was a really great price, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'd had an eye on this sort of knife for a little while. I'd always wanted to have a go with a Kershaw or a ZT, especially a sort of assisted opening, sort of speed safe version. And in particular the 07 series of the ZTs were very appealing. The 0777 being a very collectible, limited run knife which quickly appeared impossible to get hold of. So comes a little bubble wrap with a bit of silica gel in there. There's the knife itself. Little instruction manual, which is just general ZT info, especially about the speed safe feature, sharpening, warranty, all that sort of stuff. So if we put this aside for a moment, the knife itself is a reasonably small knife. It's got the aluminium scales. It's got a through flow construction with the little standoffs here. Interesting, it's got this little extra standoff here, which I think is for a lanyard to feed through. It's got the pocket clip, which is reversible, tip up, carry only, left or right. It's got the flipper, pivot, and of course it opens like a absolute rocket. As I say, this is my first speed safe knife, so the spring assisted knife, the spring kicks in there. It's got spring, it's got spring, it's got spring, and then it stops there. So any point from that point on, just a little nudge and it'll open. But to there and from around about there onwards, there's no spring at all. Quite an interesting design. Yeah, for those that don't know, all it is in the handle there's a little kinked bit of wire, which just there's a hole in the blade. It just offers a little bit of spring tension. So it's pretty impressive how easily that opens. The knife itself has an LMAX blade with a lovely near mirrored bevel on it. As I say, I did get this second hand, but to my knowledge it's not been sharpened, it's not been abused. The only thing that's happened to it is it's got a little nick here and here, which looks like, you know, the previous owner has just cut down in something quite hard or with an edge on it and just grazed the aluminium there. As I say, it's aluminium scales with a liner lock, but instead of being a whole liner, you can just pick out there that it's just nested in. You can see where the steel liner sits there, and on the other side, if light favours, you can see just a little pocket just there with a cover on it, and that's where the little metal spring lives. So as I say, LMAX blade. LMAX is a great steel from what I hear, but there's been some discussion on the internet about the ability of production manufacturers to treat it correctly. So what I understand is that they can overheat it as they grind, and it basically means that its edge retention's pretty much shot. But very nice in the hand. I believe it's a 3.5 inch blade. Let's have a quick measure. Get this onto inches. Yeah, so the cutting edge, probably just shy of 3.5 inches, near 3. Blade thickness is 1/11 of an inch, not sure what that really means, about 3mm, there you go, that makes sense to me being a UK folk. There you go. Yeah, as I say, it's a lovely knife. I'm not sure if I would have paid full price, but the price I paid was too tempting if I just compare it to other knives. So what other flippers do I have? I've got the Columbia River Knife and Tool Swindle here. Not a knife in the same price range, but this has got a flipper with ball bearings, so that comes out pretty quick. Just see if we can get a feel for whether it's quicker or slower. Now I think the ZT is pretty quick there. Put it there up for size comparison. You got the Boca Quaken, a Burnley design, again flipper with IKBS bearings. And that comes out pretty quick. And then it's very hard to really assess how quickly they come out, but you know, I think that the spring assist is almost unstoppable. You can get these just traditional flippers. If you flip it, you can get it to fail. You can get it wrong. Just keeping your finger in the way there as the flipper swings around, can muck it up. In terms of flipper versus spring assist, or ball bearing versus spring assist rather, there's something rather sort of brutal about the spring assist. There's a sort of certain grace that the engineering tolerances allow these to function so smoothly. I think there's an elegance in the unassisted flipper. If you don't get the tolerances right, you're not going to get the flipping. But with the ZT, with spring assist, I think you could get there no matter what. In fact, actually one thing I've spotted, whether you can pick it up or not, there's a little scratch just across there where the scale makes contact. You can see it shining. So that kind of illustrates the point in terms of, the tolerances aren't exactly there maybe, but it still comes out with an unstoppable force. So, great knife. If you need a knife which will open every time, this is the one. I love it, very pleased with it, but I've got to say there's a certain elegance with the non-assisted flippers. Yeah, as I say, great knife. I'd recommend it. Can get it cheap on a forum, all the better. Okay, thanks.